Most real estate agents lose listing presentations before they ever walk in the door. And the reason why is because they wing it. I don't really understand this. However, the amount of real estate agents that I talk to that don't have a listing presentation is shocking, to be honest with you. This is the most important 45 minutes to, let's say, an hour and a half long that you have in your business to ultimately get business. And when you start to increase your conversion rates with listing presentations, it'll catapult your GCI. However, a lot of people are focused on leads, which leads are important. They lead to appointments. However, you still have to master your listing presentation. And any high producing agent has a system in place to get consistent results when they go into a listing presentation. I used to convert at about 45 to 50%, and usually it would go into about 3 buckets. They would choose me 1/3 of the time. 1/3 of the time they would go with somebody else, and 1/3 of the time they'd say, I have to think about it or I'm not ready yet. Eventually I would convert some of those. So my conversion rate was about, like I mentioned, 45 to 50%. However, when I started implementing a structure, a system, which I'm going to be talking about in this video, it literally changed everything for me, because I went from 50% up to 80% every time, because now I had a repeatable system. I didn't fully understand this when I was getting into the business and how important this actually was to ultimately catapult my GCI. And this is why I'd like to share this with you in this video, because I think it'll be very important for you to see the system that I have in place. It's not just about going into the appointment. It's about what you do before the appointment and what you do after the appointment, and of course what you do in the appointment. There's really like 3 components to a listing presentation. So let's dive into exactly what I do to get results up to from 50% up to 80%. So what I did personally is I created a structure that when somebody calls me on the phone and they say, I'm thinking about listing my property or I'd like an evaluation, perfect. As soon as I get that phone call or somebody reaches out to me, this is when the system starts to take action. And the very first thing that I do personally is I send out a survey. So I like to call this a seller survey. Okay, it has a lot of questions about their house, asking about their features, getting all their contact information, asking things that they like in their life too, so I know if I'm going to be working with them that I can get them gifts after we close the property. A seller survey, just getting to know your clients. It really helps to know your clients better before you go into the appointment, okay? What their interests are they into golf? Because then you can possibly relate to them. I golf too, right? Build that rapport, build that connection. So in the seller survey specifically, I ask questions tailored to their contact information. I ask questions tailored to their property, of course, so I can gather all this information ahead of time and I can fill it into the document that I bring with me on the first appointment. And I'm asking some personal questions too. Do they have pets? What are the pets' names? Stuff like that to get to know them a little bit better before I go in there, okay? So I have the advantage when I go into the first appointment that I can build rapport quickly with them. Okay, so the second thing that I do after I send them the seller first survey, after I get off the phone with them, is I also send them what I like to call an intro video. You might be asking, what's an intro video? Well, it's a video basically where they can get to see you and know you and like you. You can talk about your past history as a real estate agent, talk to a little bit of your personal interests. You can set expectations of how the process actually works. You can share with them some testimonials. You can send them to a Google profile that you have that has testimonials too, speaking into who you are and what you're all about, okay? It doesn't have to be long. It can be 2 to 5 minutes, depending on how long that you would like to create the video for, or share how much you would like to share. But basically it's building up your credibility, allowing them to get to know you a little bit better. And what it also does, it gets you on video, so they get familiar with your voice, they get to see your mannerisms, and they get to see your body language. So when you go to the first appointment, they know you even better. Okay, so that's the second thing I do, is send out an intro video. Now, the third thing that we do is we actually go to the appointment. I say appointment number 1, okay? Because I break my listing presentations into 2 appointments. I know, a little personal story, when I got into the business, it was very hammered into me by the person that I was being mentored by to get the listing signed on the very first appointment. And if they're gonna be a buyer too, get the buyer's agreement signed too. Well, guess what? That didn't connect with me. It felt pushy, felt sleazy. I didn't even know these people. I like to get to know the people that I'm going to be working with. I'm an introvert and I like to know who I'm going to be working with, because if I'm working with a person that's not in alignment with me or shares the same values, guess what? My energy gets drained very quickly. So it's very important for me to get to know this person. So in the very first appointment, what I'm doing is getting to know them. I'm actually interviewing them to see if I would like to work with them. And if it's not a fit, then that's fine too. And at the very first appointment, I'm getting to know them and I'm getting to know the property. And then I'm making the decision whether I would like to move forward before I've actually done the CMA, or the comparative market analysis, or presented the listing presentation. So the very first appointment, that's all you're doing. It's a short, like 30 to 45 minutes. You pre-frame them ahead of time in the intro video and on the phone call. Here's the expectations. My listing presentations or this process is in 2 separate appointments. You let them know that, so they know that they're going to be there for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so that's the 3rd thing that I do, is the very first appointment. After that, if I've decided that I would like to work with them, what is the 4th thing that you can do? I go home and I create what's called a goodie box. You might be going, what's a goodie box? Well, a goodie box is something that I put together that I'm bringing to the 2nd appointment. Now, it's something that I put in some chocolate. I put in a branded mug. I put in a branded coaster. I put in some water. I put in where there's some treats. I also put in a trades guide where it's like has a directory of all the trades that maybe they're gonna use: electricians, plumbers, lawyers, inspectors, all the people that we have connections with in real estate. Is a very powerful and beneficial piece of content to share with people that we're gonna be working with. It's very beneficial for them to know all these contractors, trusted contractors. I put that in there as well. So basically you're creating a gift, a box that you've put together that you're going to gift them, okay? And it's really nice. Everybody likes to, or the majority of people like to receive gifts, okay? And that is what we're going to be bringing to the 2nd appointment as well. And even within that box, we can also put just a little guide that shares a little bit more about the home selling process as well, which I do as well. It's separate from the listing process, but it's just a guide with a little bit more testimonials, a little bit more about the process and stuff like that you're going to be explaining anyways in the listing presentation, but it's something else that they can get as well. So think about a box, a gift that you can give to your potential clients, your prospects there that you're potentially going to be working with, and what would be nice for them to receive that's more value driven that you can give to them and provide to them. And that's what I do when I put this goodie box together, okay? That I'm going to be bringing at appointment 2. What else do I do? Then, of course, we have to do the CMA, the comparative market analysis. We put that together to let them know approximately what their house is going to sell for. We get the comps, all that stuff that we typically do as real estate agents, okay? But there's one other thing I do before I go to appointment number 2. Step number 6 is a night before video. Okay, you're probably going, what's a night before video? Well, before appointment number 2, before I go in to present myself, do the listing presentation, show them the comparables in their neighborhood, what I am doing is kind of previewing this on a Loom video, going into my comparative market analysis and showing them, not showing them, not saying a price specifically, but showing, kind of pre-framing them. Here's this neighbor that went this and they sold in this many days. I'm going over a few of them, so it gives them a base of what the prices are before I even get there, so it's not a shock when they get there, so they actually can see it, okay? And then what happens is, from a psychological level, they start to formulate their own price and start to understand that. So when you actually present the prices, okay, they are already familiar with it because you did this night before video. What does this also do? Why is this so beneficial, this here? Well, at this point in time, they've seen us in person here. Let me just get another night before video. They've seen us in person here, another video here, okay? So they've seen us 3 times. They see our mannerisms again. We've given value. They see our tonality. They're seeing lots of us, which again is extremely beneficial. They're seeing us numerous times, not just one time and trying to close the deal. We're giving value through it the whole way. This is value right here, the goodie box, piece of value here, And then this is value here, we give value here. We continue to give value, okay? That's what we're doing here along the whole process and allowing them to see us more, which is going to build trust, rapport, and they're gonna feel like they know us better, okay? So the next thing that you do is actually go into the appointment number 2. This is in person, okay? So now we've gone in person twice. Appointment 1, appointment 2. Okay, again, this is a short one. You can pre-frame them and say it's 45 minutes to an hour. This is where we're gonna sit down with them and we're going to present our pricing. What I highly suggest is breaking your pricing when you do this. Okay, you go through your comparative market analysis. Then when you're going through your listing presentation, while you're on appointment number 2, you provide them with 3 different prices. Okay, what does that do? Okay, you say one's aspirational, one's market value, and one's just below market value, okay, if you depending on their situation. So it covers your bases. Instead of just pinpointing it down to one price, it allows you to cover a whole bunch of different price points, because if you give one price and somebody else has gone there and give a higher price, of course, sometimes they'll go and choose the higher price because they will obviously like to optimize their home price, which we would too, but we got to be realistic here. So we give them a range so it covers that and allow them to choose, which puts them feeling like they're in a power position, okay? So I suggest that you do this as well, is to give them 3 prices. And again, because we've done the night before video, they'll start to formulate, oh, that price makes sense, or I'm in a little bit more of a hurry, maybe we'll choose this price, or market price usually is the price that people will go with, okay? And you can guide them towards this, allowing them to feel like they're in the power position making the decision when you've reframed all of this for them. Super powerful, okay? So this is appointment number 2, is where we're doing our listing presentation. At this point in time, maybe they're ready to sign the documentation. You can bring it with you. However, for me, I don't push. I use my intuition to go, does it make sense to ask them to move forward right now? Does it not make sense? Where are they at? Are they actually thinking in like 3 or 4 months? Of course, you're gonna feel this out, feel where they're at, and then go from there. Okay, let's just say in this scenario, and they're not ready, they're ready in like a month or 2. Regardless, the next step that I do is I do a thank you video. You're probably thinking, what? Another video? Yeah. So at this point in time, they've seen us 3 times on video, and they've seen us 2 times in person. Again, they see us, they see us, they see us, they see us, they see us. We build rapport, we build trust, give value, we give value, we give value. We just hammer them with value throughout this entire process. We do a thank you video. It could be a 1-minute video. Thank you for allowing me to come into your house. I'm looking forward to the opportunity of working together with you, and I really liked XYZ about your house, and I really think it's gonna show well. If you have any questions, please reach out. It's a quick video that we can shoot, sharing our experience with them too, and again, a way for them to see us and another little bit of value that we can give to them. This builds rapport very quickly, okay? And the last thing, just on top of that, I usually send out a direct mail piece, like a thank you card. Again, you're just hitting them multiple different ways. You've just did the video. Now you're sending them a direct piece that they're gonna get maybe a couple days after, 3-4 business days after. Another thank you to them, maybe something specific about their house that's custom to them. It makes them feel special. And this is the entire process, guys. This is how powerful this is. No other agents, very little agents are doing this. And this is all based on building rapport, building authority, positioning yourself as an expert, and giving them the most amount of value along the way. I talk about this in other videos with the lead gen, is giving the most amount of value in the marketplace will differentiate you. Well, you do this with your listing presentation too. So one leads to the other. So you're giving the most value is why they've called you, okay? In your lead gen, and then you give the most value when you go into the listing presentation. And this just creates so much goodwill that they feel obligated to ultimately work with you. And this is exactly what I did and what I changed. Instead of attempting to go in 1 time or even 2 times, I added all these additional steps that positioned me as an expert and the obvious choice. And this is why my listing presentation conversions went from about 50% up to 80%. Which increased my GCI drastic. This is the small hinge that swings big doors in your real estate agent, and it needs to be a focus point if you really want to be a high producer. I believe this video is beneficial to you. If you like videos about this and you're into value-driven marketing, you're into value-driven sales presentations, if you're into value-driven repeat business, if you're a value-driven type of person and you would like to differentiate, subscribe to the channel. Okay, I'm going to be shooting more videos like this so you can differentiate yourself, have the business ultimately that you would like to have as a real estate agent. Okay, so subscribe to the channel, and if you would like to watch a little bit more about lead gen, watch this video here. Okay, super exciting. Okay, I'm Nick Doherty, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.